The J.I. Case Company of Racine, Wisconsin, and your local case equipment dealer present the Case 310 Series G crawler. And that G stands for All Go. Of course, you have to see the 310G in action to really appreciate the go power, the speed, and the maneuverability designed into this rugged, compact crawler. Whether it's this big, high-capacity loader model or any one of 4 versatile Dozer models. We'd like to show you many of the outstanding features that make the 310 the goinest tractor in its class. To do this, let's begin where the 310 starts its trip down the assembly line. You're looking at the rugged Mainframe, the basic design feature that is responsible for the 310's outstanding reliability and low-cost operation. Look at the extra beef in those channel frame members. They're wide, one-piece, heavy-gauge steel. The Mainframe is carried by this massive torque tube. At the outer ends of the torque tube, large 3/4-inch thick steel plates are fastened to carry the track frames. Next, the engine and clutch assembly are mounted on the channel frame members. Now let's consider how this unique torque tube and Mainframe provide superior durability and performance. Since the side plates carry the track frames, this means that all shock or twist loads from the tracks are absorbed by the torque tube. As a result, the engine and transmission are protected from working strains. Even working strains from the Dozer blades are directed through the track frame to the torque tube, where they are absorbed. The solid steel loader frame fastens to the Mainframe directly over the torque tube. Again, working strains are distributed over the large area of the frame and are absorbed by the torque tube. Of course, there's bound to be some flexing. This is an accepted fact in all true crawler designs, because crawlers usually work on jobs too rough for a wheel tractor. This is why Case mounts the engine and the transmission separately on the Mainframe and uses a rugged, flexible drive shaft between the engine and the transmission, eliminating stress loads and bearing alignment problems caused by flexing. Individual mounting like this simplifies and shortens service time. For example, suppose the clutch plate needs replacing. Simply disconnect the drive shaft, remove the back plate and the bottom cover on the clutch housing, and replace the clutch. In less than an hour, the 310G is back on the job because you don't have to remove the loader or the Dozer or split the tractor. Here's how 3 out of 4 competitors designed their crawlers. A non-flexible train of cast iron housings from engine to transmission, just like a wheel tractor. Many hours of downtime and a fully equipped service shop are required to do many jobs that can be done quickly in the field on the 310G. But now, let's continue our trip down the Case assembly line. Here, the drive sprockets have been installed. They're high-carbon steel castings designed to last in abrasive soils while retaining plenty of shock-absorbing strength. Next comes the big-capacity radiator core, the front-mounted hydraulic pump, and then the operator's compartment with hydraulic controls. For compactness and protection, the fuel tank is under the seat. Directly in front of the instrument panel, we see the hydraulic oil reservoir. Now the thick steel front wraparound and grill guard are installed, along with a heavy gauge hood. Notice the headlamps. They're rubber mounted to isolate them from shock and working vibrations. They last longer. Let's step off the line for a moment at the track sub-assembly station. Here we see the track rollers being assembled. In the foreground, notice those large ball bearings. These will be pressed into the rollers. Only the Case 310G has precision anti-friction bearings in its track rollers. All competitors use bushings. Anti-friction ball bearings offer far more precise clearances. Lubrication is more positive. The bearings last longer. The seals last longer too because the bearings maintain a more concentric path around the shaft. And those big 4-lip seals permit flushing out the bearings each time the rollers are lubricated. Heavy-duty double-row bearings are standard equipment in the front rollers of all loader models and are used front and rear on all loader backhoes, Here is double insurance for lasting track roller life. 5 of these tough rollers are installed in the strongest track frame in the industry. The track frame is made from 5-inch by 2-inch steel channels that carry the weight of the tractor and ensure deflection-free support for the rollers and front idler. This massive track frame assembly is rigidly mounted on the thick steel side plate carried by the torque tube. For example, at the rear of the track frame, notice the size of that mounting bracket. And at the front, the track frame is secured to the side plate at 5 different locations. This distributes loading over a wide area for absorption by the torque tube. The heavy cast steel idlers have the same large ball bearings and the same 4-lip flush-type seals as the track rollers. A deep channel is provided between the track rail contact surfaces to reduce mud or rock packing. A heavy preloaded coil spring protects the track system from shock loads. The spring is completely enclosed in this steel housing. Look at the beef in the idler wheel support bracket assembly. It's cast steel with heavy gauge plates bolted on so they straddle the track frame channels. Both channels guide the idler wheel when the recoil mechanism reacts, keeping the wheel in exact alignment. The entire assembly slides on replaceable wear plates for low-cost servicing. Here's another quality track design feature that holds down operating costs. All of the tractor's weight is carried by 5 track rollers. Since both the idler and drive sprocket are mounted slightly higher than the rollers, they don't carry any weight. Their primary function is driving and maintaining track alignment. As a result, the transmission and final drives are also freed from supporting any of the tractor's weight. Take a close look at the 310's track, chain, and shoe construction. A heavy center support reinforces each link. The links are forged steel for strength, with deep hardened rails for low wear. Large hardened steel track pins and replaceable bushings ensure long service life. Each track shoe is keyed to a groove on the track link so that shear forces on the track bolts are reduced. 4 specially hardened bolts lock each shoe to the link, and they stay locked. A wide range of heat-treated and non-heat-treated street plates and grousers, ranging in width from 12 to 20 inches, are available for every type of job application. In addition, rubber track pads are available for special applications. After the tracks are installed, and before the loader or dozer is mounted, the crawler is driven onto a smooth steel skid plate, covered with a special liquid solution. While anchored in place, the crawler is operated for a full 20 minutes in all gears, while inspectors check the entire machine. Every crawler leaving the line gets this thorough inspection. After the loader or dozer is mounted, the unit is again test operated prior to final painting. After a thorough cleaning, the 310 is painted, passes through a drying oven, and then goes to the touch-up area. Here decals are applied, and the paint job is carefully inspected for complete protection as well as appearance. Before shipping, the entire rig is again completely inspected and tested one more time. Rugged precision construction, backed up by quality workmanship and thorough inspection, protected by the Case 12-month warranty with a no-hour limit, means you're twice as sure when you own a Case. Now let's talk about operating performance. You know, a man puts in a lot of long hours at the controls, and when the day's work is over, how much he accomplished can depend a lot on the comfort, convenience, and maneuverability of his machine. The man who sits here will find his work gets done more easily, faster. And this is why. A wide, roomy cockpit provides plenty of comfortable leg room. A wide cushioned seat and backrest iron out the bumps, lets the operator shift position. Both armrests have wide padded cushions to minimize fatigue. And notice how the batteries are conveniently located under the armrests for quick access. All controls are located for an easy, natural reach that cuts down fatigue. The operator can lean on the right armrest while he works the dozer controls. A foot throttle is standard equipment for easier, more accurate control during short cycle loading or dozing. A hand throttle is also provided as standard equipment for operator comfort during long, sustained hauls. The operator's left foot controls a big 10-inch diameter master clutch with ferrometallic facings that outlast ordinary facings as much as 8-to-1. For smooth, safe braking, a master brake pedal is provided for the right foot, in addition to the braking action provided by the individual steering hand levers. Checking the all-important hydraulic oil level has been made easy and convenient for the operator. The filler cap and dipstick, located on the instrument panel, provide a constant reminder for good preventive maintenance. Removing just a few cap screws provides full access to the hydraulic reservoir and filter. Also notice the complete accessibility to the rear of the instrument panel, a real time saver when service is necessary. Case features controlled differential steering for power on both tracks in a turn. Applying light finger pressure on one steering lever does the job. Here's how it works. In a left turn, the large drum on the left is slowed down by the brake. As the drum slows, the planetary gears inside the drum start in motion. This reduces the axle speed to the left track by as much as 45% and increases the right-hand track speed by the same amount. The result? A tight, continuous turn with power on both tracks at all times. More traction is maintained to handle bigger payloads and to maneuver through soft or slippery going where competitive alternate clutch and brake turning soon bogs down. Both the case tracks roll easily around corners instead of having to absorb the strains and stresses created by stop and twist clutch steering. The 310 tracks last longer. And notice that the ground is not torn up when the 310 turns. This eliminates time-consuming cleanup. A fast shift pattern boosts production, promotes continuous work action. With this simple progressive shift pattern, first and reverse are in a straight line. The operator can quick shift straight through from forward to reverse by declutching and tapping the master brake. In one fast motion, he can go from a husky first gear working speed of 1.7 miles per hour, where the majority of dozer or loading work is done, to a quick stepping 2 mile per hour reverse speed. Appropriate faster speeds of 2.7 and 4.5 miles per hour are ideal for lighter load applications. Case high torque engine power provides a tremendous range of speed control in each gear on the 310G. The high torque feature pays off in higher production and lower cost of operation. High torque represents the ability of the engine to lug on through overloads without stalling and without having to stop and downshift. Let's compare the torque output of the Case 310G with competition. In the diesel models, notice that the Case produces more torque than all of the higher-priced competitors, and with one exception, so does the gasoline model. Both the Case diesel and the Case gasoline engines are backed up by millions of satisfactory owner-proved hours in all parts of the world. They're built as tough and rugged as the crawler they power. Now, let's talk about the working tools to go along with the husky earning power of the 310G crawler. We'll start with the dozer line. Here's the hydraulic-powered Case angle dozer, the only outside push-arm dozer in its class that power angles from 0 degrees to a full 25 degrees right or left on the go and at a touch on the hydraulic control lever. Extra passes, deadheading, and timeout stops for blade adjusting are eliminated. A heavy box-welded C-frame wraps around the outside of the tracks so that all pushing is done directly from the track frames. Side draft is reduced so that bonus-size loads can be carried in front of the blade with more precision control in either the angled or straight position. Push power is transmitted to the blade from the center or hinge point of the C-frame and also from the outer corners through the 2 large hydraulic angling cylinders. Rigid support is provided to the ends of the blade through the cylinders and those massive struts. For continuous extra heavy work, such as stumping or cornering out boulders with the end of the blade can be pinned in either the straight or full angled position. The working force is then carried on the pin instead of the cylinder. Here is the economy-priced mechanically angled dozer, ideal for those job applications that require infrequent blade angle changes. The operator has a choice of straight bulldozing or side casting with the blade angled 25 degrees right or left. A heavy box-welded C-frame wraps around the outside of the tracks and supports the blade at 4 points to handle the toughest digging and pushing operations. This is the rugged case tilt crown dozer, the only outside push-arm dozer in its class that can be hydraulically tilted from a level position to a 12-inch tilt either way and on the go. A tough, compact bulldozer that gets more work done by eliminating extra passes, deadheading, and downtime for blade adjustment. Heavy box-welded steel push-arms do all of their pushing from the outside of the track frames for maximum control and power. At the forward end of the left arm, you can see the telescoping shield that fully protects the big double-acting tilt cylinder. 2 lift cylinders carry the blade on a hefty leveling arm. The blade is pivot-mounted on large ball bearings for lasting precision. Notice how closely coupled the blade is to minimize ground leverage and to increase tractive power. The rugged construction of the case outside push-arm dozers, plus versatile on-the-go blade control, make both the angling and the tilt crown dozers ideal rigs for precision grading, for pioneering new trails or roads through the woods, for land clearing, slicing roots, and prying out stumps or boulders, and for ditching or crowning. Here is the full hydraulic-powered angling tilt crown dozer with inside push arms. It's designed to fit special land-forming applications where stumps and boulders are not a problem. The blade angles hydraulically from 0 to 34 degrees right or left and hydraulically tilts 12 inches either way. An exceptional drop of 28 inches below ground level keeps the load on the blade when shaping or excavating, an ideal tool for landscaping, grade cutting, crowning, and many other applications. Now let's talk about the loader. Here's the rig that's setting new standards for loader performance in the small crawler market, both in bucket control and overall high-speed operation. Massive one-piece solid steel lift arms ensure lasting performance in the toughest job applications. Heavily reinforced buckets absorb the roughest usage and come back for more. 40 degrees of rollback and 6,200 pounds of breakout combine with the top crowding power of the crawler to slice in and break out the toughest material. At carry, the bucket is practically level to maintain a heaped 3/4 cubic yard load over the roughest ground. A 46-degree dump angle kicks the load out in a hurry. This site-level gauge tells the operator at a glance the exact position of his bucket. It's standard equipment. Also, notice the bucket visibility the operator has from the cockpit. And here is 107 degrees of grading angle, far more than any loader in this class. Yes, from rollback to grading angle, the Case 310G provides total bucket control to handle any job with speed, accuracy, and ease. Here's how it's done. The piston rod is pinned to the loader arm, while the cylinder barrel is pivot mounted to the bucket control linkage. With this design, the piston rod remains stationary while the cylinder barrel moves back and forth to actuate the bucket linkage. Pivot mounting the cylinder to the bucket linkage in this manner allows an exceptionally large degree of bucket travel arc, from full rollback as shown here to roll under. This is why the 310G has more bucket control than any competitive loader on the market. There's another advantage. A hydraulic cylinder develops more power when it extends, so the power extending stroke of the cylinder is used to roll the bucket back. This is where you want power, for breakout, and where you want speed, for dump. The faster retracting stroke rolls the bucket over in a hurry. You can use any grading angle without worry of cylinder damage from working strains, because the cylinder is retracted. Of course, before that big 3/4 yard heaped load can be dumped into a truck, it must be lifted, and without any spillage loss. 3,750 pounds of lift capacity handles a heaped load of just about any weight material you could get in the bucket. Exclusive case hydro leveling automatically keeps the bucket level and full all the way up. Hydro-leveling does all the thinking for the bucket and lets the operator concentrate on maneuvering. This simple hydro-leveling cylinder and its twin on the other side are the only actual working parts involved. Notice that the piston rod is attached to the loader arm, while the bottom end of the cylinder is pinned to the frame. The loader arm pulls the piston out as it raises. This forces oil out of the hydro-leveling cylinder and up to the bucket cylinders, causing them to retract just enough to keep the bucket level at all times. The simplicity of the case hydro-leveling design eliminates all mechanical leveling linkage. It also does away with mechanically induced back pressures that are common to all mechanical self-leveling linkages. The Case 310 loader lasts longer, costs less to maintain. 10 feet 3 inches of lift height safely clears those high-sided trucks. 27 inches of reach at full lift will spot loads where you want them from one side of the truck. An 8-foot 1-inch dump clearance lets the operator pull away fast the instant material leaves the bucket. And talk about speed. Only 6 seconds to lift, 1 second to dump, and 3 seconds to lower. This is up to 20% faster than competition. Here is an optional multipurpose bucket that offers exceptional versatility to the construction and landscaping contractor. It's a conventional 3/4 yard bucket with all of the performance characteristics of the standard loader. Open the clam and add up to 2 feet to the dumping clearance. Use the clam to pick up bulky objects that standard buckets can't touch. Open the clam wide and use the mold board as a dozer to backfill or grade. Open the clam slightly and use the mold board cutting edge to skin off as much as 4 inches of topsoil, sod, or clay and still maintain the grade. A bucket load can also be spread on the go using the same principle. Here's another versatile option for the 310G loader, the famous Case 14-foot backhoe. Fast on, fast off mounting to the tractor offers high-performance excavating capabilities front and rear. Exceptional crowding and digging power easily handles the toughest material, down to a maximum depth of 14 feet, with a reach of almost 17 feet from the pivot. Here's the Case 14-foot backhoe equipped with an extendable boom, the ideal solution for the contractor who occasionally needs to go deeper or wants extra reach without investing in a much higher price 15 or 16-foot hoe. With the boom in the retracted position, he can dig down to 14 feet. But to go deeper, he simply drives out one lock pin, uses the bucket hydraulics to pull the boom out, replaces the pin, and he can dig down to 16 feet without sacrificing any of the backhoe's crowding or digging power. He now has a 19.5-foot reach to pile material well away from those trench walls that tend to crumble. The versatile extendable boom is available as either a factory-installed or a field-installed attachment. The 14-foot Case backhoe is also available as a factory-installed option on all 310G Dozer models. Additional front counterweights provide the same transport stability as the loader backhoe combination. Here is a heavy-duty ripper for tearing up blacktop or hard pan. Any combination from 1 to 5 teeth can be quickly assembled. A large double-acting hydraulic cylinder provides fast penetration down to a maximum 10-inch depth. The rugged forged steel teeth have replaceable wear-resistant points for low-cost maintenance. Winch, hold, or free spool on the go with this powerful hydraulic-controlled winch, having a bare drum line pull of 11,800 pounds. Here's the muscle needed for skidding logs and other pulling and hoisting jobs. A 3 or 4 roller fair lead is available, plus a front pull hook and a complete selection of forestry gear for tractor and operator protection. For rear-mounted equipment when plowing, disking, or mowing, here's a Category 1 3-point hitch. Hydraulics are also available for remote cylinder operation. This power takeoff and belt pulley attachment is available for rear-mounted equipment or for powering stationary machines. Here are 3 quick-change loader attachments that add versatility to the 310G: a pallet fork, a log fork, and a dozer blade. Yes, if you're looking for extra dollar value in versatility and productivity. Sturdy, more reliable construction that is backed up with a full 12-month, no-hour limit warranty. If you're looking for a low investment that will earn you more, look to Case now. Ask your dealer to demonstrate the Case 310 Series G crawler today.